So picture this, March 2020. The world's falling apart, and the Federal Reserve just creates $3 trillion. Just like that. Keystrokes on a computer. No gold vault, no printing press running overtime, just numbers appearing on screens. You are watching Capital History. Don't go anywhere. The truth is more shocking than you think. And I'm sitting there watching this happen, right? Watching them conjure up more money in 3 months than most countries see in decades. Then April rolls around, and guess what shows up in my mailbox? My tax bill. I'm staring at this thing thinking, wait a minute. You just created $3 trillion out of thin air, but you still need my $8,000? Like, what are we even doing here? That's when I went down the rabbit hole that changed everything I thought I knew about money. Because here's the thing nobody tells you. Those taxes you pay, they're not funding roads and schools. The government burns that money, literally deletes it from existence. Think about it. If they can create unlimited dollars, why do they need yours? The answer isn't what you think, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. There's something much deeper going on here. Something that changes everything about how money actually works in this world. Here's what blew my mind when I first learned this, and I'm talking like stopped me dead in my tracks kind of revelation. Your dollar bill? It's completely worthless. Like, literally. The paper it's printed on costs about 7 cents to make. So why does everyone accept it as if it's worth something? Because the government has created what economists call artificial scarcity, and they did it through the most brilliant psychological trick in human history. It's called the tax foundation theory, or chartalism, if you want to get fancy about it. Here's how it works. Step 1. The government spends money into existence. When Congress approves spending, the Treasury literally marks up accounts with keystrokes. No gold vault, no printing press needed for most of it. Step 2, and this is the genius part. They demand you pay taxes in that exact same currency. Think about it. You have to get dollars to pay your taxes, or men with guns will eventually show up at your door. This creates what economists call involuntary demand. You need dollars not because they're inherently valuable, but because the government made it illegal not to need them. The 1905 German economist Georg Knapp called this chartalism. Money's value comes from the state's ability to impose taxes. Massachusetts figured this out in 1690. They printed paper money and said, "Pay your taxes with this or face punishment." Boom, instant currency demand. But here's where it gets really wild. When you pay taxes, that money doesn't go into some government savings account. It gets destroyed, deleted, gone. The government doesn't need your tax dollars to spend. They needed to create the demand for dollars in the first place. This is why government debt isn't like household debt. You can't print dollars in your basement, but the government literally creates them. They can never run out of their own currency. It's like saying Microsoft could run out of Microsoft Word licenses. I know what you're thinking right now. If the government can just print money, Why don't they give everyone $1 million and end poverty forever? Trust me, I had the exact same thought when I first learned about this. Here's the thing that blew my mind. The government can create infinite dollars, but they cannot create infinite stuff. Money is just a claim ticket for real resources. Think of it like this. Imagine Ferrari announces they're giving away cars, but they only made 5,000 this year. If 1 million people show up with claim tickets, what happens to the price? The U.S. Treasury proved this during COVID. They created $5 trillion in 18 months. No bankruptcy, no collapse. But what did we get? Inflation. Because you can't print lumber, microchips, or truck drivers. This is the real constraint MMT economists talk about. It's not, can we afford it? It's, do we have enough doctors, steel, and concrete to actually build what we're trying to buy? The danger isn't running out of money. It's running out of stuff to buy with that money. Which brings us to the real genius of the system. When demand gets too hot and inflation kicks in, how do you cool it down? You don't print less money. You destroy the money that's already out there. And the weapon of choice? Taxes. And this is going to blow your mind. Everything you think you know about taxes, it's backwards. The government doesn't need your tax money to build roads or fund hospitals. They literally create money from nothing, remember? So why the hell are they still taking 30% of your paycheck? Because taxes serve 3 purposes that have absolutely nothing to do with revenue. First, they force you to need dollars. Think about it. You have to pay taxes in US dollars, not Bitcoin, not gold, not euros. This creates artificial demand for government currency. It's brilliant and terrifying. Second purpose, inflation control. When the economy gets too hot, when there's too much money chasing too few goods, the government doesn't just stop printing. They start deleting money through higher taxes. Your tax payment literally disappears from existence. It's not sitting in some government account waiting to buy fighter jets. It's gone. Vaporized. And here's the third purpose nobody talks about. Control. When you owe the government money every April, you stay in line. You keep working in their system, earning their currency, playing by their rules. This is why tax debates are completely insane. Politicians argue about how will we pay for it, when they know damn well money isn't the constraint. It's pure theater to maintain the illusion that government finances work like your household budget. The real question isn't, can we afford it? It's, do we have the real resources to make it happen without causing inflation? But that's a much harder conversation about priorities and resource allocation. Once you see taxes as a tool for currency control rather than government funding, everything changes. Every tax policy debate, every deficit scare, every austerity measure, it's all about maintaining this fundamental illusion about how money really works. So here's where this gets really wild. Once you understand that taxes aren't actually funding anything, it completely flips how you should think about, well, everything economic. When politicians argue, we can't afford Medicare for all, or how will we pay for infrastructure, you now know they're asking the wrong question. The real question is, do we have enough doctors, nurses, concrete, and steel? Because if we do, we can absolutely afford it financially. Japan proved this for decades. They've run massive deficits with a debt-to-GDP ratio over 260%. Yet their inflation stayed near zero. Why? Because they had unused economic capacity. Here's what this means for you personally. When you vote, ignore the fear-mongering about national debt. Focus on whether policies use real resources efficiently. When you see economic news, ask yourself, is this about actual scarcity or artificial financial constraints? And here's the kicker. Every time you pay taxes, you're not funding the government. You're destroying money to keep the system stable. You're literally participating in economic alchemy. The establishment doesn't want you knowing this because it threatens their control over economic narratives. But once enough people understand that money is just accounting, not physics, we can have much smarter conversations about what kind of economy we actually want. Your homework? Question everything. When someone says, "We can't afford it," ask them what real resources it would actually require.